Welcome back to OWL Week 2. If you have not finished your OWL background night sky, go ahead and do that now. If you need to go back to the video, that's okay too. But now what we're going to do is take our second piece of paper and we're going to draw an owl. You want to make sure the owl actually fits on the paper, so put it side by side and draw a line across where the branch is. That way we know that our owl will be just tall enough to sit on the branch and not go off the paper. Put your night sky to the side. As you can see, mine still needs to dry. What we're going to do first for our owl is above the line, not quite at the top, we're going to draw a circle for the head. So leave room for the body in between. Make sure you're drawing big because we are going to cut this out. The next for our body, we want to make it big enough to fit the belly and the wings. So you're going to do a line that goes from the side of the head, curves out nice and wide, and then touches the line. Same for the other side. See how wide my owl is? Now we're going to draw the wings to its side. It's going to be a line that follows the outside line, but starts inside of the body. If you drew your owl too skinny, maybe you should do the same, but do it outside of the body. So go from the inside, follow the line down. If you did it too skinny, once again, draw extra lines on the outside instead of the inside. Now we're going to draw the face, and this is a good time to remind you that your owl does not have to look exactly like mine. For my face, I'm going to do 2 dots to start my eyes. After that, I'm going to draw circles around them. And then I'm going to do lines that connect my dot to the outside circle, and they're going to kind of look like a beach ball. Looks kind of weird so far. The next thing we're going to do is draw 2 more circles around these beach balls. Remember, you can pause anytime you need to if I'm going too fast. And then the last layer we're going to do is what I like to call the goggles, or they're really feathers that go around the eyes. So you do 2 kind of curves that meet in the middle on top. You go around, and the bottom you do the same thing, but it kind of reflects. So it kind of looks like goggles that are floating around our 2 circular eyes. After that, draw a V that touches the bottom of our goggles for our beak. And then for these feather kind of ear things, you're going to draw triangles that come off the top of the goggles. See how they're wide, as if they could almost eat little circles inside? They're also not see-through, so I'm going to make sure that I erase that line inside of my triangles. Pause now and take your time to design your eyes. The next thing we're going to do on our owl is the feathers on the belly. Now I'm going to show you a certain technique how to do this. If you were with me last year, it was kind of like the fish scales. And you can do your own technique if you'd like. Just make sure you're using interesting lines or dividing it in an interesting way. So for this technique, the best thing you can do is turn your owl upside down. You can see the diagram of how we're going to do the feathers. So they're a little offset and they look like they're layered. So on the belly, starting at the left corner, you're going to do upside down U's, like bumps, without lifting your pencil. The bigger they are, the better, because they will be easier to color in. The next row will start at the top of each bump. If there's a little bit extra, you kind of hop off to the sides until it reaches the edge of the tummy. So once again, start from the bumps and jump, jump, jump until you reach the side. If you're doing this, they'll look kind of layered. If you end up jumping into the in-between, it can get kind of crowded. So try making big jumps that connect to the top of the row below it. Once you reach the bottom, you can do a few feathers that poke out that will go over And then what I'm going to do with my wings is round them off a little bit, so that way when I cut it out and put it on my branch, it looks like the feathers and the wings are kind of laying over the branch. Now that we're done drawing the owl, I suggest taking a Sharpie and outlining all of your lines. Once you've outlined all your lines, it is up to you how you want to color in your owl. You can blend colors together in big areas or just color them one color. You can color each feather individually or do it by rows. It is up to you what colors you would like to use. Make sure you are taking your time and making sure that all your colors are filled in and bright. I chose warm colors because I wanted my owl to feel more unified. So as you're choosing colors, think about your intentions of what you want your owl to look like, what kind of mood you want your owl to have, or kind of personality. But make sure you're using good craftsmanship, which means that your coloring is neat and purposeful. This is only sped up because, well, it would be a long time of you watching me color. Once you're done with your owl, you're going to cut it out and put it on your branch. You can glue it, or if you don't have glue, that's okay too. We can't tell once we take the picture. But take a moment to find a good space where you can take a photo of your owl. You're going to want to hold it up and down, so on my screen it's going to seem sideways in a minute. And you're going to want to make sure that you can see the edges lining up with the edge of your camera. You also don't want to take it at a weird angle. You know what I'm finding out is that I really need to put something behind it. So I'm going to use this white paper, put it behind it so you can't see all my mess. And there you go, our unique owl on our night sky.